I welcome you to this wonderful platform, which is the class of science. Okay, so let's now continue from where we ended on our previous lesson. So we ended on examples. So we have now to give the examples on how to balance the chemical equations. So the first one, balance the following reactions. We have A, hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas is equals to water or H2O. Okay, so now when you look at these atoms, for you to balance, you just have to go direct and you're right, you start with hydrogen. So let us see if the atoms they are balancing. Okay, so we can go for hydrogen. Hydrogen here we have how many atoms? There are two. Then what about here? There are also two. So 2, 2, 2. Okay, meaning they are balanced. Okay, then we go to oxygen. Are they balanced? Oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. How many atoms this side? 2. Then what about product? We have 1. That's where we have an issue. We have to balance that. Okay. So now for you to know that here I have to balance is first of all by doing what I've done. You come up with the ratios. Okay. Reactant against product. This is what I've done. Then from there now you'll be able to say, okay, this element, this molecule is not balanced. Okay, so like this one, oxygen is not balanced. So what are we going to do for us to balance it? Meaning we have to add to this side, product side. We should also add to for it to do what? To balance. So therefore, the answer now is going to be, we write H2, then plus O2, then huge arrow, then we say 2, we start with 2, H. So meaning, this time now, here we have how many oxygen? There are 2 also. So 2, because 1 atom times 2, we are going to have 2. Then here also we have 2. Now remember, hydrogen has been affected again. Because of these 2, so this side, hydrogen, we have 4. When we say 2 times 2 is 4. So we have 4 atoms. So we do the same. Even here, we should balance. We should have 4 atoms. Okay? And that would be, we have to start with 2 as well. Then plus, then 2. Okay, so like this, meaning this equation has been balanced. So this is how we balance the equation. Simple as that. Okay, so we can go to B now. Okay, B. Oh, B. On B we have this equation which is unbalanced. So we need to balance it. Now for us to balance, we need to look at the atoms that are involved. I mean the elements. So the first one, we have carbon. So let's start with carbon. Want to identify how many atoms of carbon there? There are 3. Okay, that is the reactant, this side. Then what about this side? How many atoms of carbon? There are just 1. So 3 to 1. Then we come to the next next element is hydrogen. So hydrogen reactant, there are many? 8. So you say 8, 2, then product this side. Hydrogen we have only 2. Okay. Then we come to oxygen. So oxygen, this side we have 2 atoms of oxygen. Then what about this side? Oxygen. This is 2 here. Then we have also 1. So 3. So there are 3. Okay. So these are the elements involved. Now you have seen the way they are. So what are we going to do for us to balance this? So it means there's a 3. We should add a 3 on the product part. That is for carbon. You should add a 3 there. So therefore, we are going to write just like the way it is there. We write, we see how we are going to move. So C3, then H8, chemical formula, then O squared, 2. Then we have, I was saying for carbon, this side we add the 3, so we say 3 now. 3 CO2, then plus H2O. Okay, so now let us see. This one, quite all right, we have balanced. The carbon has been balanced. Now let's look at oxygen. Oxygen has increased because of the 3. Oxygen has become what? 6. Okay? So now that 6 plus 1, 7. Then this side we have oxygen is what? Oxygen this side is just 2. Okay? So meaning oxygen has been affected. We have to do something also. Then what about when we come to hydrogen? Hydrogen, we can come to hydrogen. So hydrogen, what do we have? This side we have 8. Then this side we have what? 2. Okay. 8, 2. So now for it to balance, it means this side we have to add what? A 4. Okay? Because when we say 2 times 4, it will give us 8. So let's write 3, then H, 8, then plus O2, then 3CO2, then plus, I said this one now we are going to say 4H2O. Okay, we are moving. We are trying to balance H now. Okay, so H is H balanced. When you look at this, 2 times 4, it's 8. So H also has been balanced. Okay, then now this 4 has affected the oxygen again. Oxygen now is going to be 4 times 4, it is going to be 6. Oh, I mean 4. Then here we have 6. So oxygen we have what? 10. So this time around, oxygen is what? 10. Okay. So if oxygen is 10, because we are saying 4 times 2, 6. Oh, 4 times 1, 4. Plus 3 times 2, 6. Which is 4 plus 6 is 10. So here we have oxygen 2. So what are we going to do for us to balance this one? We need to put a 5 there. Okay. So you write 3, then H, 8 plus 5, O2, then 3, CO2 plus 4, H2O. Now let us see. Are all the elements balanced? Let us check. Here we have 3 carbon. What about here? 3 carbon. Good. Then here we have 8 hydrogen. What about here? Hydrogen is 8. Okay, very good. Let's go to oxygen. Here we have 10 oxygen. Then what about here? 3 times 2, 6. Then plus 4, 10. So this is the balanced what? Equation. So this is how we balance. Simple as that. Those are some of the steps you should follow. Then from there, we come to the last one. The last one, which is this. So we can write. In fact, it is already written. So let's just identify the elements that are involved. So we have sodium there, nitrate. Oh, that is sodium. Sodium, there are many. Sodium, there are 3. Product, what about this side? Sodium is here, it's 1. Okay, sodium is 1. Then we come to phosphorus. Phosphorus, this side is what? 1. 1, 2. This side phosphorus is what? 2. Because there is a 2 there. 2. 2 outside. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, 1 atom of phosphorus times 2 is 2. Then phosphorus, oxygen. We go to oxygen. So oxygen, this side we have what? 4. 4 atom of oxygen. Then what about this side? Oxygen. 8. Oxygen is 8. 4 times 2, 8. Then what else? We come to calcium. Calcium, this side we have 1. Reactant 1. Then 1, 2. This side calcium is what? 3. Okay. Then we go to the last one, chlorine gas. Chlorine gas, we have 2. 2. This side 2. Then here 1. Okay. So having identified the elements together with their atoms, then we can now start balancing them. Okay, so now when we look at, we start with the first one. The first one. The first one, we are going to balance it. So I think the space will be enough. We'll use this space. Okay. So here we have to put a 3. We add a 3 to the reactant, the product. Product, we put a 3 there. So we are going to start the way it is. We can copy now. So the first one will be sodium 3, then PO4 plus calcium chloride, then the arrow. I think the space, you need to adjust the, I need to adjust the font, the way I'll be writing. So we are saying, we can write now sodium 3, then 4, then plus okay. Then I said for sodium, okay, sodium is there at the end, okay. So calcium, then we have PO4 there, then 2, then plus okay. Yes. So for sodium, supposed to add the 3 there. Okay. So we can write here okay. So meaning sodium has been balanced. Sodium has been balanced. 3, 3. Okay. Then remember chlorine has been affected, chlorine again, because of that. Here we said 2, but here we have 3 now. 3. Okay. So let's go to the next element that you want to balance. Phosphorus. Phosphorus 1, 2, 3. Or 1 to 2. So this side we have 1. So we have to put 2 here. Okay. Where's phosphorus? Phosphorus in the equation. So phosphorus in the equation. Okay. Here we have 1. Then this side we have 2. Here we have 1. This side we have 2. That is phosphorus. So now for us to balance that one, it means we have to put a 2 this side. Okay. We have to put a 2. Okay, so now as we can see, this one, when you put a 3, quite all right to balance. But the phosphorus again, we require to put a number, because once we put here, now for phosphorus, this is 1, and this side we have 2. So meaning we have to put a 2 here. And when this is 2, here to be affected, the sodium will be 6. So therefore, here we are going to put 6. Sodium 6, then here we are going to put 2. Okay, sodium has become 6, then phosphorus has also balanced. When you look at phosphorus, phosphorus has balanced 2, 2. Then oxygen, when you put a 2 there, this time now oxygen has become 8. And when you look at this side, oxygen is 8 also. Okay, then calcium here we have 3. Okay, so we have 3 calcium. Then for us to have 3, here we have to put 3 for calcium. Then chlorine, since chlorine is 2, even here is 6. So when you put 3, chlorine also balance. So therefore, the final one will be 2, 3, then plus, here we have to put 3, calcium. Chlorine has become 6, as it is that side. Hence, balanced. Okay, so you can even prove. You can see sodium is 6. This side sodium is also 6. Then phosphorus is 2. Then phosphorus this side is also 2. Okay. Then oxygen, there is 2 there times 2, 8. Oxygen this side 8. Even here oxygen is 4 times 2, 8. Then you can come to calcium. Calcium is 3. Then even here calcium is 3. Then chlorine is 6. 2 times 3, 6. Even here chlorine is 6. So meaning the equation has been balanced. So this is how we balance the chemical equation in chemistry, which is science paper 2. Okay. Thank you so very much for your patience. I would encourage you now to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Pedagogy Academy. Follow me on my Facebook page, Mr. A Plus Online Lessons, as well as on TikTok, Mr. A Plus. Thank you so very much, and bye for now.